Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, a member of the far-right extremist group known as the Boogaloo Bois has admitted to posing as a Black Lives Matter protester when he shot up the police station in Minneapolis after George Floyd was murdered last summer. So here's the deal. 24-year-old Ivan Hunter from Texas was arrested, and he has now pleaded guilty to one count of rioting. He also admitted in federal court that on May 28th of last year, he used an AK-47 style rifle to fire 13 rounds of ammunition into the 4th Precinct police station while other people were looting it and setting it on fire. So that's all not good, right? Like no matter who was looting, who was rioting, that's not good. But this was the guy who unloaded 13 rounds. Hunter was actually caught on video. He was caught on video not only shooting the place up, but then high-fiving someone after he shot the building. And then he yelled out, quote, "Justice for Floyd." So according to the prosecutors, after George Floyd's murder, Hunter was communicating with two known Boogaloo Bois, associates named Michael Solomon and Benjamin Teeter, who they recently, the two of them, pleaded guilty to supporting a terrorist organization after they were caught offering to sell weapons to an undercover FBI agent who was posing as a member of Hamas. So Hunter was nabbed shortly after a traffic stop in Texas, apparently in June of last year. So this was shortly after he shot up the police station. The police stopped a truck due to multiple traffic violations. Well, Hunter was sitting in the passenger seat in that truck. And when he got pulled over, when the truck driver got pulled over, Hunter was wearing a tactical vest that was filled with 6 loaded magazines for a semi-automatic rifle. The cops then searched the vehicle, and they also found multiple firearms in the truck. They found 3 semi-automatic rifles on the back seat, and they found 1 loaded pistol that was sitting next to the driver's seat. That one they said was in clear view. And then there was another loaded pistol in the center console. So you've got 5 weapons in one vehicle, a guy carrying magazines, 6 magazines filled, and yet they let them go. So that, boys and girls, is what white privilege looks like. So the good news is that he was arrested several days later because the authorities discovered that he has ties to these Boogaloo members. And in fact, he not only was he in contact with the other 2 men, but he was also in contact with the Boogaloo Bois member who had killed 2 men. The Boogaloo member that was communicating with this Hunter guy was Stephen Carrillo. Now, you may recall Carrillo is the former Air Force sergeant. He ambushed and murdered a federal officer, and he said to have, quote, felt excited and thrilled after the shooting. That was the direct quote from the driver of the van that he was riding in. So the driver pulled up, Carrillo opened the side door, ambushed these guys, unloaded, just, started shooting. He killed the federal officer, Pat Underwood, and he injured his partner. So Carrillo was arrested and charged several days after that murder, where he also murdered another officer when they were trying to apprehend him. And those murders also took place during and then in the days following George Floyd dying and a protest in California. So both Carrillo and Hunter face prison time. Carrillo may actually get the death penalty. We'll have to see. But Hunter is looking at up to 5 years in federal prison because luckily none of the 13 bullets that he unloaded into that police station actually hit anyone. This group tries to portray itself as being just anti-government, right? They're against government tyranny. But the Southern Poverty Law Center, who tracks hate groups throughout the United States, they consider the Boogaloo Bois to be very dangerous. They also say that the term Boogaloo is associated with the desire to incite a race war. And the way that they try to do that is by exploiting already existing divisions and then increasing racial tensions. So, unlike the Proud Bigots or the Oath Breakers, the Boogaloo Boys are not just anti-government, they're also anti-police. So, in a way, their goals and their beliefs do overlap with BLM, but make no mistake, they're just as dangerous as these other groups. They're just as dangerous as these other far-right extremist groups because they show up at events with their tactical vests on, they have their assault rifles, they're looking for trouble, just like the other ones do. What makes me roll my eyes at people who always try to blame violence on BLM is that all of these groups, Boogaloo, Proud Bigots, the Oath Keepers, they almost always have a large showing of weapons. Wherever they go, they've got weapons. Many of their people are carrying, yet they're never shot by police for some reason. Imagine if large groups of Black and brown men and women showed up at BLM protests with assault-style rifles, wearing bulletproof vests. It would end in a massive and immediate slaughter. They wouldn't even make it to a street corner to start protesting. That's how quickly they'd be shot. So, yeah, is there a disparity in treatment? Yeah, it's definitely not to favor BLM. You know, everybody's talking about all the violence, all the police stations that were burned and were shot up. Are they now going to admit that one of their own was one of the ones who unloaded 13 rounds into a police station? I doubt we're going to hear anything about this from right-wing media. Anyway, as I hear more, I will let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.